I expected more, to be honest. Corral was good, but not amazing. I've seen it once. Okay. I don't need to see it again.
Coach is a father. Coach is a mentor. Coach has great power on an athlete's life. Mark.
Foxcatcher.
So yeah, I don't feel like I need to watch it again.
Okay.
I'm kind of happy to just leave it at that. Never see it again. I'd say if you're gonna watch it, just wait till it's like on Netflix and you're just one day in the mood for a kind of quite dry, uninteresting film.
Fair enough.
Because like ultimately, the visuals were very boring. The soundtrack is non-existent. The acting was okay. The story was sort of expected. And weirdly, like I kind of, you kind of imagine that a real life story would be not a normal kind of, like, the way it ended was kind of quite a generic kind of, oh, it ended like that. It wasn't something unusual. You kind of feel like, oh, in the real world, maybe something different would happen, and that would be why this film would be good. But actually, it was something I was thinking about from quite early on. And I was kind of like, well, that happened. So, yeah, I don't want to damn it.
You ungrateful ape.
I don't want to damn it too much. But yeah, mostly unimpressed. Yeah. Oh yeah, great. Thanks, McDonald's.
It's like a giant lollipop.
Just like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Go on.
No, it's already ruined it. Right. What did you think?
Oh, right. Foxcatcher. Well, okay,
I've largely damned it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Thinking back to what I just said.
You've largely talked it down, and I think whatever we say in this, we have to bear in mind we've only just seen it. And normally we don't do this straight away like we are doing now.
Yeah, but normally I start hating films more. Not that I come out and I'm like, oh, I didn't really like it. And then like with The Hobbit, I didn't really like it. And then I hated it. After like a couple of days, I was like, I fucking hated it.
We're going back to that again.
Sorry, I can't get over it.
Can't let it go.
Not yet.
Oh my god. Anyway, back to Foxcatcher. Stay on topic, right? Right. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it a lot more than you. I enjoyed it a lot more than you. I think what you pick up on, you're right to pick up on a few things. Like, I thought the visual style was kind of not here nor there. It was nothing special or anything that stood out to me.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
There was no use of the visual style.
You were right in what you said when we did like the preview of films that are coming out, in saying that it was quite stark and it had that kind of feel to it. And I think maybe to me that kind of visual style. Oh no. No.
I don't think it's bad. I think it's alright.
What you think is alright,
Yeah.
it's going to be bad.
Yeah. Try. I'll put the window down. There we go. Much better. I wanted it to be more like Prisoners, where the imagery was just so kind of dingy.
Yeah, but then the theme and the emotions in that are totally different, really.
Cool.
And what I was going to say before I was
rudely interrupted.
What I was going to say was that this, in my mind, sort of spoke to kind of like a disconnect. You know, this kind of visual style where it's quite sort of cold, and do you know what I mean? It's not like it doesn't give you a warm sensation, a warm feeling. The style and look of the film is quite a cold and, like I said, disconnected experience. I kind of felt. That might just be me, and that links in though with the characters. You know, there's obviously that was probably unintentionally. I think moving on to the characters, that's what I enjoyed most about this film. So Steve Carell's character, John Dupont, Golden Eagle. You know, he's this very, very wealthy man from supposedly the wealthiest family in America. I don't know how true that is. I'm going on a film.
I don't really care.
Well, it's irrelevant, really. He's very wealthy, and money is nothing to him. It's just a number. You know, he can write any check without sort of blinking.
Yeah.
And he, you know, sort of demonstrates that throughout the film a couple of times. But because of that, he's very isolated, and he seems to have only sort of lived with his mother. I kind of got that feeling that, you know, they've sort of had this relationship where she's been very much the one in charge, really.
Yeah.
He sort of refers things back to her. And there's a point in which he wins a trophy and goes to his mother sort of a bit later on in the film and asks whether he can put it in sort of the trophy cabinet they seem to have in that house.
Yeah.
And that's just this kind of a strange thing. But he's not a young man. He was competing in the over 50s sort of age range for like the wrestling he was doing. So he's very sort of a very kind of tragic character in that respect. Channing Tatum's character too has seen his brother's shadow all his life.
Yeah.
And that's another point that's made. He
basically they have a connection, right? That's the whole point.
Well, yeah, they sort of like find. Oh my god! Fucking Skoda. What do we do if this happens?
Nothing.
Ah, fuck you. Man, win. They have a connection, and that's like the focal point of the film, where their relationship, how it builds up, and then kind of just collapses, and almost the repercussions of that. And it's kind of framed around the build up to the 1988 Olympics. Channing Tatum's brother, Mark Ruffalo, he is almost a catalyst for this relationship starting, but also for it degrading and collapsing as well. And there's consequences to that. So all these kind of like interlinking characters.
What was he doing?
Fucking idiot. Yeah, so the story and the characters, the way they link into each other, I found that interesting and engaging. I was able to watch it and enjoy it. I thought Steve Carell was...
So what I kept coming back to is I was just like, he's just a man who can't make friends, who's rich.
Yeah, but then there are more subtleties to that. And Steve Carell, there was nothing like absolutely mind-blowing about his performance, because
it's mind-blowing in the... Oh no, not mind-blowing, but it's impressive in that he doesn't look like Steve Carell.
You know what? Yeah, I was going to say that I felt that it was good because it was like very restrained, and that's the difference. You know, like Michael Keaton in Birdman. You know, he's like quite a charismatic character. He's kind of a loser.
Yeah.
But he's very sort of, you know, he gestures a lot. He has emotion, and he really demonstrates it and shows it to the world.
Yeah.
This is the other side of that completely, where this character is very awkward in any kind of social situations.
Yep.
And has that sort of disconnect from other people and humanity in general. You know, because of his upbringing, because of his background. And I thought the way that Steve Carell showed that was really good. And he is basing it on a real person, whereas other films generally are characters that are made up and can change and morph as the actor wants. And this is someone that obviously that he had to model on as much as he could.
Yeah.
I think with that in mind, it's very good. I found, though, the parts most interesting where Steve Carell wasn't talking, where there were moments of like quiet and you just see this character, John Dupont. Is that right? John Dupont? When you just see Golden Eagle, like watching or looking, and even his movements are quite like mechanical almost, where he'd sort of like turn his whole his whole body movement, or he wouldn't like move like be fluid in his movement at all. It's very much like whole body turns. Good. Yeah. Yeah, that's just really interesting.
He's basically pretending to be a human being.
Yeah, that kind of like false way of showing celebration and stuff is very unnatural to that character.
Yeah.
And yeah, Steve Carell did a fine job, I think. Channing Tatum was okay.
Yeah.
I think he's okay in most stuff he does. Mark Ruffalo is just Mark Ruffalo, really. And I like watching him. He's a decent guy. Decent actor to watch. Like, I have no problem with him at all. Other than that, I don't think there's anyone else in the film that had any major role.
Really, no.
Everyone else was kind of secondary or like background characters.
Yeah.
There was not really a score,
No.
particularly. Nothing that would stand out that I can remember at all.
No.
So I can't really talk about that. I liked it. I think I would watch it again, but not for any other reason other than to pick up on maybe some of the subtleties in, sort of, like I said, Steve Carell's character that I may have missed.
Yeah.
Some of the looks and the meanings you can gather from that. Other than that, I probably wouldn't need to see it again. I wouldn't feel I had to. I enjoyed it, is what I'd say, and I would recommend it. Go and see it in a cinema that doesn't have a fucking broken speaker.
You know how I was like, over time I start to hate it more.
Is it already got to that point?
Yeah. Just hearing you talk about it, I was like, it was a fucking waste of time. What have I done with it?